If you are over 60 years old and you are eating spinach, drinking green tea, and snacking on almonds every single day because you believe you are doing your kidneys a favor, I need you to stop what you are doing and watch this video right now, because what I am about to share with you could be one of the most important things you hear all year. The truth is, several foods that the entire health and wellness world has labeled as superfoods, foods your doctor may have even recommended, are silently and steadily damaging your kidneys, and the danger is amplified significantly once you cross the age of 60. This is not fear-mongering, this is nephrology, and by the time this video is over, you will know exactly which foods to limit, why your aging kidneys make you far more vulnerable than younger adults, and what you should be eating instead to protect one of the most critical organ systems in your entire body. So stay with me, because this could genuinely save your kidney function and your life. Let us start with something that most people do not realize, and that is how dramatically kidney function naturally declines as we age. By the time you reach your 60s, your kidneys are typically operating at anywhere between 50 and 75% of the capacity they had when you were 25 years old. That sounds alarming, but in most cases you will not feel it. You will have no pain, no obvious symptoms, and no warning signs whatsoever. Kidney disease earns its reputation as a silent killer precisely because of this. The kidneys compensate remarkably well, even as their filtering capacity diminishes, which means by the time symptoms appear, swelling in the legs, fatigue, changes in urination, the damage is often already quite advanced. This is why what you eat matters enormously after 60, because your kidneys simply do not have the reserve capacity they once had to handle the chemical load that certain foods produce inside your body. Now let us talk about the first food on this list, and I promise you this one is going to surprise you. We are talking about spinach. Yes, that dark leafy green that is practically the poster child of healthy eating. The problem with spinach for aging kidneys is its extraordinarily high oxalate content. Oxalates are naturally occurring compounds found in many plant foods, and in healthy younger adults with fully functioning kidneys, oxalates are typically filtered out and excreted through urine without any issue. But here is where the age factor becomes critical. As kidney filtration slows, oxalates begin to accumulate in the blood, and when calcium in your body binds to those oxalates, they form calcium oxalate crystals. These crystals are the most common component of kidney stones, but more importantly and more insidiously, they can deposit directly into kidney tissue itself, causing a condition called oxalate nephropathy, which is a form of progressive kidney damage. Just 1 cup of cooked spinach contains over 600 milligrams of oxalates. The recommended safe threshold for someone with compromised kidney function is often set below 50 milligrams per day. You can see the problem immediately. And the issue does not stop at spinach. The same high oxalate warning applies to beet greens, Swiss chard, rhubarb, and even almonds and cashews, which we will come back to shortly. So what should you eat instead of spinach if you still want those leafy green nutrients? The good news is that you have excellent options. Kale and bok choy are significantly lower in oxalates, while still delivering robust amounts of vitamins K, C, and folate. Arugula is another wonderful choice. Cabbage, both green and purple, is exceptionally kidney-friendly and packed with compounds that actually support detoxification pathways in the body. The goal is not to abandon vegetables. That would be a disaster for your overall health. The goal is to become selective and strategic about which vegetables you prioritize. Now let us move to something that might be even more surprising, and that is the issue with high-potassium foods in the over 60 population. Healthy kidneys regulate potassium levels in the blood with extraordinary precision, because both too little and too much potassium can disrupt your heart rhythm. As kidney function declines, this regulatory mechanism weakens. Foods that are considered heart healthy and nutritious for most people, things like bananas, oranges, potatoes, avocados, and tomatoes, can push potassium levels dangerously high in someone whose kidneys are no longer filtering efficiently. A condition called hyperkalemia, which is elevated blood potassium, can cause muscle weakness, fatigue, irregular heartbeat, and in severe cases, cardiac arrest. The frustrating part is that many people in their 60s and 70s are actively eating more bananas because they have been told it helps with leg cramps, or eating more avocado because it is the healthy fat. without knowing their current kidney function, which requires a simple blood test called eGFR, they may be inadvertently creating a serious health risk. If you are over 60 and you have not had your kidney function tested in the past year, please make that appointment with your doctor. It is a simple, inexpensive test that can tell you exactly how much filtration capacity your kidneys currently have, and it will allow you to make truly informed decisions about your diet. Another food category that deserves serious attention is protein, specifically animal protein in large quantities. There is a prevailing cultural message right now that more protein is always better, particularly for older adults who want to preserve muscle mass. And it is true that protein needs do increase somewhat with age. However, the metabolism of protein produces nitrogen waste products, particularly urea, that must be filtered and excreted by the kidneys. When you are consuming large amounts of red meat, processed meats, or even high-protein supplements every single day, you are dramatically increasing the filtration burden on kidneys that are already working at reduced capacity. Research consistently shows that high animal protein intake is associated with faster progression of kidney function, decline in people who already have some degree of kidney impairment, and remember, most people over 60 have some degree of kidney impairment without knowing it. This does not mean you need to go fully vegetarian. Plant proteins from lentils, chickpeas and tofu impose a much lighter filtration burden than animal proteins. If you do eat meat, aim for smaller portions and leaner cuts, and try to have at least 2 to 3 plant-based protein days per week. Let us circle back to almonds and nuts in general, because this is a category that the health world has embraced almost universally, and for good reason in younger healthy adults. But for aging kidneys, the issue is twofold. First, as I mentioned, almonds are high in oxalates. Second, many commercially available nuts and nut butters are heavily salted, and sodium is one of the single most damaging dietary factors for kidney health at any age, but especially after 60. Sodium causes the kidneys to retain water, raises blood pressure, and over time increases the pressure within the tiny filtering units of the kidneys called nephrons. Chronic high sodium intake is directly linked to accelerated kidney damage. A small handful of unsalted walnuts or macadamia nuts, which are lower in oxalates, is a very different story from eating a large serving of salted mixed nuts daily. The distinction matters enormously, and most people are not making it. Speaking of sodium, let us talk about the foods that are hiding truly shocking amounts of it. Bread, believe it or not, is one of the leading sources of sodium in the Western diet, not because a single slice is very salty, but because we eat it so frequently and in such quantity. Canned soups, canned vegetables, processed deli meats, pickled foods, soy sauce, and even cottage cheese can contain staggering amounts of sodium per serving. Cooking from scratch whenever possible, reading nutrition labels carefully, and choosing low-sodium versions of pantry staples can make a profound difference in how much filtration work your kidneys are required to do every single day. Now let us talk about something that tends to generate a lot of surprise and even pushback when I bring it up, and that is the issue with certain herbal teas and supplements. Green tea has a wonderful reputation, and it does contain antioxidants called catechins that offer real health benefits. However, it also contains a significant amount of oxalates, and in people who are drinking multiple cups per day as part of a health regimen, this can contribute meaningfully to oxalate accumulation in the kidneys. Even more concerning are herbal supplements marketed specifically for kidney cleansing or detoxification. Many of these supplements contain herbs like juniper berry, parsley seed, dandelion, and certain Chinese herbal compounds that can actually be toxic to kidney tissue, particularly in older adults whose livers and kidneys are less efficient at processing these compounds. The term herbal does not mean safe, and the kidney cleanse industry in particular is built on claims that have very little scientific backing and considerable potential for harm. Before taking any supplement, herbal or otherwise, please consult your physician and specifically mention your kidney health, because some of the most commonly used supplements, including high-dose vitamin C, creatine, and certain pain relievers like ibuprofen and naproxen taken regularly, are well-documented causes of kidney damage in older adults. Let us also address phosphorus, which is another mineral that healthy kidneys regulate carefully, but that becomes problematic when filtration declines. Foods extremely high in phosphorus include cola soft drinks, which use phosphoric acid as an acidifying agent, processed cheeses, instant puddings, certain packaged snack foods, and most fast food items. When phosphorus builds up in the blood due to impaired kidney filtering, it pulls calcium out of bones to try to restore balance, leading to weakening of the bones and calcification of blood vessels. This is why advanced kidney disease is so closely linked to cardiovascular disease and bone fractures. Limiting ultra-processed foods is one of the most impactful things an older adult can do to protect kidney health. Let us also spend a moment on hydration, because it is not just about what you eat, it is profoundly about what you drink. Dehydration is a major and under-recognized cause of acute kidney injury in older adults. As we age, our sense of thirst diminishes, which means by the time you feel thirsty, you are already meaningfully dehydrated. Many older adults are also on diuretic medications for blood pressure or heart conditions, which further increases fluid losses. Mild chronic dehydration forces the kidneys to work harder to concentrate urine, increases the risk of kidney stones, and over time contributes to structural damage within the kidneys. Aim for consistent hydration throughout the day. Water, herbal teas with low oxalate content like chamomile or ginger tea, and water-rich foods like cucumber and lettuce are all excellent choices. The classic advice of 8 glasses a day is a reasonable starting point, though your individual needs will depend on your activity level, climate, and any medications you are taking. One more food I want to highlight specifically is the seemingly innocent but potentially problematic star fruit, also called carambola. While this may seem like an unusual addition, star fruit contains a neurotoxin called caramboxin that healthy kidneys filter out efficiently. In people with reduced kidney function, this toxin can accumulate and cause a constellation of neurological symptoms, including hiccups that do not stop, confusion, and in serious cases, seizures. This is not a commonly eaten food in many households, but it does appear in fruit salads, juices, and certain cuisines, and it is mentioned in the medical literature often enough that it warrants a clear warning. So to bring everything together in a way that is practical and actionable, the overarching principle here is that aging kidneys require a diet lower in oxalates, lower in sodium, lower in excessive animal protein, lower in high-potassium foods if your kidney function is already impaired, and free from ultra-processed phosphorus-laden products. This means building your plate around low-oxalate vegetables like cabbage, cauliflower and bok choy, choosing plant proteins more often, seasoning with herbs and spices rather than salt, staying consistently hydrated, and getting regular kidney function testing so you actually know the state of your kidney health rather than guessing. Your kidneys do not send you warning signals early on, but you can send them a message every single day through the food choices you make. The most important thing you can walk away with today is this: foods that are healthy for one person at one life stage are not automatically healthy for everyone at every life stage. After 60, your kidney function has changed, your body's ability to process certain compounds has changed, and your diet needs to reflect those changes. The 5 points to remember are to limit high oxalate foods like spinach and almonds, moderate your animal protein intake, dramatically reduce your sodium, be cautious with high potassium foods unless you know your kidney function is strong, and avoid herbal supplements and regular use of over-the-counter pain relievers without medical guidance. If you found this information valuable and you want to protect your health as you age, please subscribe to this channel so you never miss important content like this. Give this video a thumbs up so it can reach more people who need this information, and drop a comment below letting me know what health topic you want to see covered next, because your kidneys and every other part of you deserve to be well informed.